Okay, moving on to this. President Trump sticking to his guns and ramping up his battle with Harvard and other elite Ivy League schools. The president posting this on Truth Social, quote, Harvard is an anti-Semitic far-left institution, as are numerous others, with students being accepted from all over the world that want to rip our country apart. It is truly horrific. Now, since our filings began, they act like they are all American apple pie.
President Trump isn't just speaking out, he is taking action. He signed a flurry of new executive orders on education, including one to limit large foreign gifts and another order that will promote meritocracy over DEI.
Well, the Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, also speaking out on the situation with Harvard, claiming that they were having constructive negotiations before Harvard decided to sue the administration over its freeze of $2.2 billion in funding.
And with us now, spokesperson for the Defense of Freedom Institute, Angela Morabito, and president and founder of Defending Education, Nicole Neily. Welcome to both of you. Nicole, I'm going to start with you here. Do you think that President Trump is doing the right thing here with Harvard?
Certainly, this is the most high-profile target he has taken aim at. But let's remember, he has also initiated investigations through the Department of Education into a number of universities that have had reprehensible anti-Semitic behavior. And so this is certainly, that's the one that everybody's looking at. But his administration has really been bold in holding everyone accountable for respecting civil rights. I mean, let's take a step back. This is the hill that Harvard is choosing to die on. They so firmly believe that it is within their right to discriminate that they are going to the mattresses. It's truly appalling.
Well, Angela, what it boils down to, these schools, Harvard included, they don't want to change their ways. They want to continue on the way they were, and President Trump's not going to stand for it.
That's right. He's telling elite institutions to clean up their act, respect civil rights, or else he's going to aggressively enforce the law. And look, there was a lot to love in all of the executive orders that President Trump signed yesterday. But there's, one action taken by the Department of Ed I think is particularly important, and that's enforcing Section 117 of the Higher Education Act. That's the part of the law that means colleges have to be open and transparent about their foreign financial ties. Many elite colleges haven't done that. When I served under President Trump's first administration, we uncovered billions in underreported foreign funds. That is a threat to national security and academic freedom. So I'm glad to see President Trump's administration really stepping up and saying we are going to expect our colleges to follow the letter of the law.
Nicole, the Wall Street Journal had an interesting piece recently talking about op-eds in university publications. Now, part of the article says this, quote, students, particularly those without U.S. citizenship, are now asking to have their names removed from articles for fear of backlash by immigration officials. That's interesting, but again, I'm going to take issue with the way it is phrased. Again, it is somehow, I think, implying that, students are afraid to exercise free speech because they're worried they'll be targeted by the government. That I think is what they're trying to say there, as opposed to, well, maybe students who hate America and who have ulterior motives or links to groups like Hamas are just scared of getting busted.
I think that's exactly right. I think you're framing it the right way. And it's funny, when I saw that article last night, I shared it with my coworkers because through public records requests we have filed with districts across the country in the wake of October 7th, I've actually seen a number of K-12 journalism teachers actually encouraging students to be more radical in how they have framed the Israel-Palestine conflict, saying, this is not a both sides issue. This is a genocide, actually encouraging students to be more bombastic, more outspoken, more radical in what they write. And so for those students who have since graduated, some of which are in college now to be fearful is something where they were encouraged to use rhetoric like this because of their teachers. And so I think that really shows that this pipeline starts a lot earlier. A lot of this hatred is taught and encouraged by professors.
Absolutely. And Angela, I've talked about this extensively. I mean, President Trump can do what he's doing, and I think there's a lot of support for that. But the faculty and staff at these schools, they are so into their woke ideology and their doctrine. You would have to hire and make sure that there's some kind of balance, checks and balances with the faculty or staff, or nothing changes.
I think that's right. If someone's out there paying an exorbitant amount for a college education that only ever teaches them one viewpoint, they're really getting ripped off.
Well, that's all they get, though.
It's not fair to these students. They should be taught how to think, not what to think. And if we want to encourage academic freedom and free speech, really have colleges be the laboratories of those great American principles, college leaders need to do a better job. And I think that they're going to have to respond to this cultural shift Americans are not tolerating that steady diet of bland wokeness anymore. People are demanding better, including this rising generation. So I will be very interested to see how colleges respond, but they're going to have to. It's just not optional anymore.
No, and I love what you said there, and that was always something important to me. You go to college not to learn what to think, but to learn how to think. All right. Appreciate that. Nicole Neily, Angela Morabito, thank you.